Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and explore one of the absolute most tense edge-of-your-seat matchups from Paris 2024. We're talking Spain versus Nigeria. If you're someone who appreciates the pure drama of clashing football philosophies, where high-octane offense runs headfirst into totally impenetrable defensive willpower, well, you are going to love breaking down this match with us. We're looking at a battle that pushed both of these incredible squads to their absolute physical and mental limits. The match commentators really hit the nail on the head right out of the gate. They noted that Spain had to work very, very hard to find a way past a resolute Nigerian defense, facing them wave after wave. And honestly, when we talk about wave after wave, it wasn't just some clever figure of speech. It was the defining tactical reality of the entire game. Spain completely dictated the tempo, really leaning into their historical dominance of possession, but Nigeria, they utterly refused to crack. It set up this incredibly compelling tug of war on the pitch. Section 1. Spain's relentless early pressure. Right from the opening whistle, Spain didn't even try to ease into this game. They set up camp in the Nigerian half and unleashed an absolute nightmare on the defense, using literally every weapon in their star-studded arsenal. You've got Aitana Bonmati constantly creating space and testing the keeper from a distance. Then there's Ona Botel just ghosting in to arrive dangerously at the back post on crosses. Olga Carmona is hovering outside the box, ready to pull the trigger the second the ball falls to her. And of course, Alexia Putellas was consistently probing and forcing massive saves. Spain threw the kitchen sink at them early. But here's the thing. Spain wasn't just throwing things at the wall to see what stuck. They were methodical. They were carefully picking at the Nigerian formation, basically searching for that one fatal flaw. They were actively working the space, using those big sweeping passes, and looking for those pinpoint balls over the top. The goal was to draw the Nigerian defenders out of their rigid structure just enough to expose a gap. Section 2. The immovable object, Nigeria's wall. Now, how Nigeria responded to all this pressure was fascinating. Most teams would buckle early under the sheer weight of Spain's heavy possession. But Nigeria brought this uniquely disciplined, totally fearless energy. And early on, we got the defining moment of that resistance. Goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie pulled off an absolute miracle to stop a blistering strike from Putellas. When the commentary is calling it a potential save of the tournament right then and there, you know it's a massive momentum-shifting moment. Nnadozie wasn't just stopping shots. She was giving her entire team the belief that they could actually hold off these Spanish giants. After that, it truly didn't matter what Spain threw at the net. A deep cross, snuffed out. An attempted chip, covered. A close-range blast, denied. Nnadozie and her defenders, like Abiodun, making steady challenges all game, were taking absolutely no prisoners. They were eagerly smothering the ball, punching away corners, and simply shutting Spain down at every single turn. If you want to understand Nigeria's performance, just listen to the word the commentators kept repeating all match: resolute. Admirably purposeful, determined, and unwavering. Even when Spain was orchestrating these beautiful, flowing passing moves, the Nigerian low block refused to panic. They kept their shape perfectly and absorbed the pressure with incredible poise. Section 3. The counter and the controversy. Moving into the second half, this evolved into an incredibly dramatic back-and-forth battle. Nigeria wasn't just playing for a goalless draw. They were waiting in the weeds for their moments to strike back. Whenever they found an opening, they sprang forward with venom. Picture this. Asisat Oshoala pulls the ball back, plays a gorgeous pass into space, and Rasheedat Ajibade is suddenly completely through on goal. It was a massive chance. But, and this is so heartbreaking for Nigeria, the ball just gets stuck underneath her feet right before she can pull the trigger. If that ball sits nicely for her, the entire script of this match flips right there. Those closing 15 minutes became an absolute emotional roller coaster. Total chaos. In the 75th minute, Spain thinks they finally have the breakthrough when Salma Paraluelo finishes a cross from Carmona, but no, the flag goes up for offside. A few minutes later, Nigeria commits 4 players forward in a terrifying counterattack led by Oshoala, but Ajibade can't keep the shot down. Then, practically instantly at the other end, a loose ball falls to Spain, they shoot, and Nigeria pulls off a desperate, celebrated clearance literally right off the goal line. Just pure, undeniable chaos. It turned into a tactical chess match played at a dead sprint. On one side, you have Spain doing everything right offensively, dictating possession, maintaining intense pressure, but coming away totally frustrated. On the flip side, you have Nigeria absorbing all of that energy, leaning heavily on world-class goalkeeping, and using the constant threat of a high-stakes counterattack to keep Spain's defense honest. Section 4. The final breakthrough. As the clock ticked down toward the final whistle, the tension in the stadium was absolutely palpable. I mean, after dominating the ball, firing off long-distance shots, winning corner after corner, and having every single attempt thwarted, saved, cleared off the line, or called back for offside, you really had to wonder if Spain was starting to believe it just wasn't their day. You could physically see the frustration mounting. But eventually, Spain finally found the answer. They secured a 1-0 victory, but it was a win that required them to absolutely empty the tank. It was ground out through pure, unrelenting persistence against a team that gave them nothing for free. It took a piece of absolute magic from their captain, Alexia Putellas, to finally break the wall. Standing over a free kick, she whipped in this wicked, floating ball. It was a cross shot that somehow managed to evade absolutely everyone in the penalty area and simply nestled right into the back of the net. After trying every complex open play sequence imaginable, it was a perfectly placed set piece that finally delivered the breakthrough. The contrast in emotions was just immediate. Putellas' goal brought these broad smiles and overwhelming relief to the Spanish bench. Conversely, it was just desperate disappointment for a Nigerian squad that had played their absolute hearts out. But incredibly, even after the goal, Nigeria almost stole an equalizer at the death. Chiwendu Ihezuo found herself through on goal for one final frantic chance, but Spanish keeper Cata Cole was right there to make a secure save right before the final whistle blew. This fight literally went down to the very last second. So, as we wrap up this explainer, take a moment to consider the immense mental endurance required by both squads here. For over 80 minutes, it was quite literally an unbreakable defense versus an unstoppable offense. Ask yourself, in the crucible of Olympic glory, what is the ultimate key? Is it the offensive persistence to keep attacking when nothing is working, or the defensive willpower to survive wave after wave? It's a fascinating debate, and this match gave us a beautiful, exhausting look at both sides of that coin. Thanks so much for joining me to unpack it all.